Let's go ahead.
Are we safe? Yet he's in a dilemma whether to resign or not to resign, even though he's afraid for his life. He thinks he's over 60 and he's ready to die.
First of all, you see,
what is going on?
You see, I was amazed at the tone and tenor of the statement that the Attorney General issued. Yes, he had come under fire from sections of the media. But why? Who can stop the media from doing what they did? They do it regularly. All of us involved in the political exercise have at one time or the other come under fire. Some class of people within the political arena are allowed to blow their top and say things. But you expect the Attorney General of a government to show more gravitas and not display the sort of irascibility that the Attorney General has displayed in this particular instance. Because you see, when irascibility means that you are quickly criticize him, you must do so justifiably. You must do so on the basis of facts. Something. I agree. So he could have pointed out these inconsistencies or the lack of these facts without going ahead to say the things that he said in this statement. Because this is a very serious statement. You don't do this when you are part of a team, when you are part of a government. He goes ahead to attack members of the communication team. And as a member of the communication team, I'm extremely affronted because I don't recall that either me or any of my colleagues have said anything adverse about the Attorney General. Indeed, when the publications came out, we were at pains to urge the newspapers to exercise restraint and perhaps engage in more to achieve clarity on some of the matters that they were not too clear about. But I'm saying that, be that as it may, assuming that the Attorney General had even come under attack from members of the communications team, he ought to have considered the implications of the statement that he was making before he released it. Now, if I can forgive the attack on the communications people and the sections of the media, indeed, if you say that a section of the media has attacked you, so they are criminal, I fail to see the criminality in that. There's nothing criminal about attacking somebody or criticizing somebody. I don't think they've committed a crime at all by attacking him. But the point is that if you on the basis of this thing, you don't show maturity and you come and issue a statement that seeks to impugn criminality to a colleague cabinet minister at a time that there is a controversy that the opposition is sniffing all over the place for to get something to hit government, and you do this kind of thing, what you've done is to send the government further. And I'm saying that I expected him to have considered all these factors before issuing the statement that he did. Again, it doesn't really matter how, when the truth is spoken. No, it's not about the truth. Listen, the president has called for investigations into this matter. I expected the Attorney General of the land, given that he has remained quiet throughout this whole exercise. Even some people have expressed misgivings about the fact that he has not even come out to clarify some of the issues. But you have kept quiet all this while. The opposition has attacked us. You've said nothing. When sections of the media loyal to the NDC criticize you and raise issues about what they perceive to be non-performance on your part, and you go out of your way to blow your top and say things that indict your own government, I think there's a height of irresponsibility. They also suggest, or not suggest, who has said that he's incompetent. Do you think that they have what it takes to make that assessment? No, they may lack the capacity to make that assessment. The assessment may be flawed. The assessment may be bogus. But I'm saying that the Attorney General has a greater responsibility than those people in the media. Because those people in the media are not in government. He is. His statements, his actions have the potential to create problems, embarrassment for government. For that reason, he ought to have been careful and weighed his words when responding to these attacks. He could simply have gone ahead and pointed out the inconsistencies or the lack of merit in the attacks that had been heaped on him. I didn't expect him to say the things that he was saying, to the extent that he even creates the impression that he was practically begged and forced to take up that position. What he has betrayed is a lack of commitment and passion for the job. Again, he has affronted the president and created the impression that without him, the president could not have run a government. I do not believe that what he did was proper. The implications of this are very severe. Indeed, he also creates the impression that he is a very principled person. I expected that at the tail end of this statement, in keeping with his exposition of principle, he would have added that he was quitting. Because you can't be in a government with people you say are engaged in gargantuan criminality. No, if you are that principled, if you are so independent-minded as to be able to issue such a statement, you immediately resign. Because currently, his position in government is untenable. There's no way he can go and sit in cabinet with his colleagues and look them in the eye and engage them in the work that ought to be done. But I'm saying that it is a lesson for all of us, no matter the level of provocation once you are a public officer, you are expected to behave in a certain manner. As for issues of lack of competence, even the president himself has been accused of being incompetent.
Has he or is he being asked to resign?
Well, I don't know that, but I'm saying that if I were him, I would have resigned immediately. I issued this statement because he has made his position in government untenable. He cannot continue to remain in government after this statement. Again, he says that cool heads need to prevail, but he didn't demonstrate that, and I'm so disappointed in what he has done because it is so unfair. It is so unfair to all of us. Why? When his outfit has gone out,
maybe he felt that it's a style. Listen, someone to speak up against what these things.
No, speak out against what? There are instances where the Attorney General, his outfit has gone to court, and there have been embarrassing outcomes for government. The same people he calls inexperienced communicators have been the ones who have gone out there to sanitize the situation. I thought that he would appreciate that and know that we are in a difficult situation. Sometimes when these matters happen, and you even need him to comment, to clarify the issue so that you lay the issue to rest, he is nowhere to be found. We are then forced.
He will not be trying his cases in the public domain.
Listen, but when
he knows the way to the court, and that is where he would win his cases or lose them.
But when you go, and the performance of your officers is so abysmal that it creates embarrassment for government.
And who makes that judgment that his performance is so
when you, for instance, go to court, you have to serve a notice to the other party that, for instance, you are appealing, and ensure that there is proof of service. You don't do that, and because of that the case is adjourned, and we have party people agitating. You have opposition members attacking the president and the government needlessly. You have a responsibility as Attorney General to lay rest to the matters by speaking to the issue and say that these are the steps that I took, and that based on this I'll take these further steps so that we are all clear in our minds. But when you don't do that, and then you leave communicators to go out there and do the defense, and later you turn around and attack them as inexperienced, I think that is most unfortunate. But I'll conclude by saying that he should do the honorable thing and quit government at this particular moment. But what he has done is improper and cannot be countenanced in any government.
Kweku, somehow, after I saw and read this statement, I thought in the same manner like Felix had done. I thought that maybe he would be tendering in his resignation the next day. Is that how you feel that he should have done?
I commented on this issue last Thursday. I was almost within the same context. The explosiveness of the statement issued, public statement issued by the Attorney General, the implications of this explosive statement,
heavily loaded,
such that it would make sense to me if the Attorney General had decided that he was on his way out of the government, and for that matter take steps to exit on his own, or in alternative he was anticipating that his boss would sack him, and perhaps that's what he prefers, clearly, because the statement is so explosive. It's so indicting of the entire government. I think that this is a unique opportunity for the president to perhaps ask Yoko.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's not an indictment against the entire government. It mentions only.
I haven't even finished my. No, we don't. When the minister is unnamed, it stigmatizes the entirety of the government.
Unnamed or not?
Yeah, it's on. You don't get the point I'm making.
I do.
The drift. Get my drift.
I do.
Perhaps the president will invite Yoko to look into this matter.
Oh, I see.
I told you I don't doubt the integrity and the legal mandate of Yoko. But of course, it's a chicken tongue suggestion. But investigations. The president told us before he became president that as for him, mere allegations in the media would be enough to trigger investigations. He wouldn't wait for the evidence. In fact, he told President Kufuor that as even a first year law student would know that if there is evidence, then you don't investigate, you proceed to court. So Kufuor was wrong saying that bring evidence. Here is the Attorney General of the land saying that there is a colleague minister who has been covering up what? That word is so he felt
concealment of gargantuan crimes.
And we don't know the crime
against the people of Ghana.
I agree with you. I agree with you. That's why I say should be subjected to immediate investigation. Look, the integrity of the government itself is on the line.
Yeah, but we see, let us not pretend that we don't know what he's referring to. We all know what he's referring to.
You know what matter is that we may all know.
I don't think that
we may all know.
Come on.
I do not want to speculate beyond the text.
But I was drawing attention to the fact that indeed there is some investigation into that particular matter.
We may all know that, so we may speculate, but I don't at this stage. I'm exercising a certain discretion, which I'm entitled to.
Legitimately mischievous.
It's okay, no problem. Not speculate in which direction and what case he's talking about and which minister. Because you know what? If I were to mention the name of a minister now, you know I'll be unfair.
Yeah, you'll be
completely unfair.
For libel,
yes. So you see the point?
Yeah.
That's why we should be careful. We can all think aloud. There could be this or that minister, but am I entitled to do that and do it fairly? No. The statement by itself is explosive and calls for immediate investigations. It's true. His position in government is untenable now, as far as I'm concerned. Completely untenable. I asked Thursday whether he consulted his boss before going public this way. Because see, I think it would be fair that if you mean so much, this means so much to you, I would walk to the president, the appointing authority, and tell him that, sir, this so and so and so and so. I have two options. Either I want to resign or I want to go public and defend my integrity, which has been assaulted by the rented and criminal NDC press. Apologies to the Attorney General. These are not my words. Indeed, I have problems with the so-called NDC press.
Why do you repeat them? You know, libelous.
We are quoting.
You are quoting libelous stuff.
What's the word again?
You think the excuses...
I think that what you are doing is unfair. I said I will not describe that section of the media as criminal or rented. Even though I have problems with them, they have problems with me. But I won't do that. Here, I think everybody knows I was quoting.
That's not one word. He also added perverse. The perverse section. Yes.
It's harsh. You see, look, let's not joke with this thing. You see, thank God this country has grown its democracy to almost a sustainable level. That's my conviction. Way back those days, these were some of the things the military upstarts used as a pretext to disrupt constitutions. I recall 1979, 1980, 81, when the PNP national organizer Adam Wako, my own friend, decided to agitate to clean the party of what the perceived mess, corruption and things, and held a press conference in his house. I was there, I reported it, and released bombshells about perceived corruption in the PNP. It didn't take 3-4 months. 31st December happened. And indeed, the day of the 31st December, Rawlings and his people were looking for Adam Wako to bring them the evidence to use. Of course, we've grown. It won't happen again, as far as I'm concerned. It's the courts now. So the investigative bodies must be activated. Martin Amidu, if I were him, I will resign and assist the investigations so that at the appropriate time, the cure will be found in the court of law.
Nothing is not going to do any such
Now, David.
Yeah.
Do you have a feeling that this is an attorney general, a lawyer of some repute,
great repute,
who has come to a point?
That's a point. Do you recall that he was a running mate?
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was the first
so
running
he
mate.
could easily have become a vice president.
Yes, he could.
You see the implication?
This is what kind of attitude he takes in that position.
Do you have a feeling that he's getting to a point where he wants to exit but doesn't want to go out without bringing to the public what he thinks are the hidden things that ought to be known?
I do not think that there's any hidden thing that has to be known, first of all. What I just think this is, because I know Mr. Martin, Honorable Martin Amadou, personally. He's a mentor, a very respected member of the bar. I do not think...
Please speak up a bit for me.
I see. I do not think that he is incompetent. I do not think that he's not able to be